guess what? You're gonna fail. Now, before you go out and dislike this video and you start thinking, oh man, this guy, he's so pessimistic. Why is he thinking this way? I thought this guy was positive, man. Why is he think this guy, he's a fraud, man. Why is he thinking so negatively? Wait, don't worry, guys. Everything is still the same. The reason why I say this is you will fail one way or another. You will fail in whatever you're trying to do. And that's what's going to help you propel to wherever you want to go. I like to talk a lot about your career or, just your life in general, because that's kind of what I experience and that's kind of what I feel a lot. And I kind of think about these things. Think about it this way. I like to give sports analogies. How many seasons did Michael Jordan play? I believe it was like 16 or 17. How many titles did he win? That means he missed out on 9 titles, right? So that's more than... And I calculated he won about 40% of the time, and he was a lucky one. Like, he was someone who actually won more than the average person. So you think about it, there's players that play 17, 18 seasons, they win the title twice. That means 16 seasons, they don't win anything. They go home packing without nothing, and that's if they win a title. There's players who have played 18, 19 seasons that have never won a title, and that's basketball. Think about it in the sport, in football, soccer, whatever you guys want to call it. Think about it. Does your team win the Champions League every single year? No, they don't win the Champions League every single year. If you think about hockey, does your team win the Stanley Cup every year? No. Like, do the New York Yankees win every single year? No. And that's part of my reason, even fighters. You talk about UFC fighters, you're gonna talk about boxing fighters. Hey, this guy's undefeated, man. What are you talking about? Like, this guy, he's undefeated. Well, think about it. Do you think that he went through this whole time without getting knocked down at least once? They might have gotten knocked down in the fight. They may have gotten knocked down in sparring. They may have gotten knocked down as kids, or maybe their personal lives. Every person fails at some point. It's inevitable. We all fail. I fail, you fail, and the reason why I'm making this is because I was just going through my regular life and I noticed that I was trying to do something so badly, and I kept failing, and I'm still failing at this thing. Every single day I'm failing at this thing, and it was biting me for a long time. I got to a point where it was Saturday, I was discouraged. I was like, you know what, I give up. And I told myself, you know what, I'm gonna stop. But something inside me was like, if you give up, what's that gonna give you? Like, seriously, what is that really gonna give you if you give up? And as a result, I told myself, you know what, I can't give up. I have to keep going. And I've been trying to do this every single day, and I'm just trying to fight it every single day. And it's my thing, right? And I'm failing, but I've noticed that the last few days I've been getting a little bit better at it. So it's like slowly you get there. And that's the thing. When you get through anything, maybe your relationship might not be working. Maybe you're not doing well financially. Maybe you've gone through 10 job interviews and you haven't gotten a job yet. Maybe you're quarantined and you don't know what to do with your life. Maybe you just lost and you don't know anything that you want to do, and everything that you try, you fail. I failed on numerous occasions, I failed with photography. I failed even with my first YouTube videos. Every YouTube video that I make, if that video doesn't do well, that's technically meant to be a failure. But is it really a failure, or is it something that's gonna help me get ahead to where I wanna be? Like, everything that you do is a learning experience. If you don't go for something, then you're never gonna know. Now, obviously, you want to take calculated risks, of course. So you have to evaluate what you're doing before, ahead of time. But if you know that you're failing at something, then you might as well just stop, and you might as well just tell yourself, hey, you know what? This is a failure. How can I improve next time? And think about it this way. Another good analogy is when you go to school, when you fail a test. Now, with the school system, they teach us that if you fail, it's like the end of the world. They teach us that your value is based on the grade system. So if you're a C student or if you're an F student, then you're destined to fail in life. And if you're the A student or you're the valedictorian, you're the one that's going to be successful in life. But is that really the case? In tests, I failed many times. Does that mean that I'm gonna fail? Does that mean that I'm gonna be a nobody because I failed on those tests? Like, does that really mean I'm gonna fail? What happens after you fail? It's done. It's over. It's not like people are gonna start like attacking you, this and that. Yes, maybe you will have your share of haters, but what really happens to you? You're gonna sit there and you're gonna ask yourself, what do I do now? What do I do now? Do I just sit and I just like gloom for the rest of like the month? or do I try and do something? For me personally, my career, I've tried many things, and I've so-called failed in some of them, and some I've done well in, but I'm still at that point where I'm still trying to figure out the exact thing for my career, and that's why I'm just trying different things all the time. If I'm not trying these things, am I gonna really succeed? Like, you have to keep trying, and that's why I made that video where I talked about you just have to start, because when you first start something, you're never going to be perfect. But if you start, you're going to figure out things more and more and more, and you're just going to get more momentum out of it. So that's my message of the day. If you guys are feeling like failures, and then one last thing, and I've been suffering a lot with this. I turned 25 recently, right? And I've had a bad habit of comparing my life with other people, especially sports athletes, because that's something I've wanted to do since I was a kid. And now that I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize that it's not something I'm going to be doing in the future. Maybe in a different way, but I won't be able to become a professional sports athlete. So sometimes when I look at these young guys as sports athletes, sometimes it makes me feel a little sort of type of way, because I've realized that that's what I really wanted to do. You have to realize that everyone goes through their own path, because just because I'm not a professional sports athlete doesn't mean that I can't do something within it. Maybe I can become a personal trainer. Maybe I can start playing in an amateur league or something along those lines. And that's something for myself. And I'm speaking to myself at this point, because this is something that I need to work on. And that's the thing. Nobody's perfect. We look at all these motivational people, and we're like, oh man, this guy has a perfect life. This guy is perfect. This guy's amazing. Wow, look at the life that they're living. Everybody fails. Everybody's going through something. This is life. This is not heaven. This is not paradise, right? This is life, right? This is just how it is. So when you look at that person, you're saying, hey, this guy's living the life. This guy's doing this thing. This guy is he's doing this while I'm doing nothing with my life. Think about it. You don't even know this person. And even if you do know this person, you don't actually know that person. You don't know what that person goes through. So that's probably the key for me here. We all fail. We're all going through something. Even when an athlete retires, people are like applauding him. Yeah, he's a legend, he's a legend. That person has to go through the next stage of his or her life. So we have to realize that that's just the reality of life. It's just going to keep going, and we have to keep going. And even if we fail, we keep getting back up. If you fail, get back up. Fail, get back up. And that's how you just get better every single time. When the regular season ends, the teams that don't make the playoffs, what happens? They rest for a bit, and then they go to training camp. The season resumes. If you lose in the playoffs, same thing. You rest for a little bit, training camp, season resumes, and that goes on until you retire, right? So every single year you're gonna keep trying, and only the champions are the ones who actually make it. Why? Because the champions always have the mindset of trying to win. When you try to win, when you're always focusing on winning, then that's when you're there. If you're trying to coast and you're telling, you know what, it's fine, I'm getting paid, this and that, that's what's gonna happen. What did Kobe say? What did Kobe say? Kobe said that when he was in the NBA, he was surprised because most people were coasting. Most people were just relaxing, and he was trying to win. So he found it a lot easier than college ball, because college ball, people were hungry. People needed to win. Whereas in NBA, people were like coasting. So think about it in that way. Anyways, guys, I've rambled enough. Like I said, we all fail. You're all bound to fail at some point, but how you rebound, that's how you make it. That's how you become a champion. And that's all I wanted to preach for today. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe, and don't forget to share it with your friends. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.